Oakland Athletics Baseball on Comcast Sportsnet, part of the NBC Sports Group.
Coming into the 2012 season, the Athletics were not favored to compete in the American League. The so-called experts believed that big offseason money spent on the Angels and the Rangers would prevent the A's chances in their division. But Bob Melvin and the boys thought differently, and so did the A's faithful. The team and the fans believed together that there was something special going on in the East Bay. Tonight, the A's return home in the thick of that pennant race and have become the feel-good story in baseball. They fight, scratch, and claw to the end as they continue to have a different hero every night. No matter what happens in the next 6 games, you know that the Athletics did everything they could in the green and gold. The final homestand starts right now. Pennant race baseball from Oakland as we're at the O.co Coliseum. 6 games left in the regular season, and it's the A's and the Mariners tonight. The first of 3 from the Coliseum, and it'll be A.J. Griffin on the mound for the Athletics. Got to keep an update on the standings, and there they are. The A's 4 back of the Rangers. Now in the wild card, the Orioles have already won their game, and the Angels are leading the Rangers right now in the 6th inning. We're also watching the Rays and the White Sox. Hi again, everybody. Welcome to Oakland A's Baseball along with Ray Fosse. I'm Glenn Kuiper. Well, good news for the A's tonight. They're going to get Coco Crisp back. Now, it's been 9 games since Coco actually started a game, Ray, but even that game, he only got a couple of at-bats. So let's hope that he is good for the final 6 games.
You know, he's the leader of this ball club. He plays a great center field. He's an outstanding hitter. And when he gets on base, unfortunately, even while he was injured, he was able to steal a couple of bases. But Coco Crisp back to the leadoff spot in the batting order, back in center field. Everybody knows what he can do. But like you said, the time that he's had off, let's hope he can recover quickly. Being in a pennant race, that probably will help him more than anything, simply because it's not like being on the DL. Stolen bases, he's great. Playing center field, he's great. He can do it all, and he is igniter in this ball club. It's great to have him back in the lineup, and let's hope he can stay in for the rest of the regular season. And if the A's go to postseason, be ready to go for that as well, because he definitely makes this club go. All
right, so it's going to be A.J. Griffin, and Blake Bevan is the pitcher for the Seattle Mariners. So 6 games left, and the A's making that push for the postseason. We'll have lineups and first pitch. It's the A's and the Mariners tonight coming up from the Coliseum.
On Comcast Sportsnet California is brought to you by AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible. By Toyota, check out the great deals at your local Toyota dealer today. And by Xfinity, home of the most live sports.
Well, the A's are back home, and they are happy to be back home as they take the field. Wear the all-white uniforms tonight as they get set to finish up this 2012 regular season with a 6-game homestand. Here's game time weather tonight, brought to you by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. Get to the beach. The admission-free boardwalk is open this weekend. It's chilly, 159 degrees with light breeze. So it is a cool night here at the Coliseum. Seattle Mariners in town, and let's look at the Mariners lineup for tonight. Just saw Dustin Ackley. He's going to lead off and play second base. Casper Wells is in right. Kyle Seager having a very nice year. Jesus Montero's the DH. John Jaso, the catcher. Smoke is hot. Keep an eye on him. And then Saunders, Robinson, and Ryan.
A.J. Griffin starting for the Athletics, and A.J. knows that he's coming off a couple of starts in which he did not perform the way he had in the early part of his young career. That was against Detroit and New York, but against Seattle Mariners, he beat them on the 7th of September up in Seattle. Great thing about that game, he struggled early, but kept throwing all of his pitches, made some adjustments, ended up going 5 1/3, picked up the win.
A's defense tonight. Good sign is look who's playing center field. It's Coco Crisp. That's great. Cespedes and Reddick on each side of him. Then Donaldson, Drew Pennington, and Moss on the infield with Kataris doing the catching. A.J. Griffin is set to go. So Coco Crisp back in there. And Griffin's first pitch to Dustin Ackley is right down the middle for a strike.
First pitch.
Next guy ball, the scoreboard watching. Bottom line for the A's, they know if they win, they don't have to look at the scoreboard. Except to see what, I guess maybe see what the Angels and Texas doing because of division. But it's just a matter of when you're where the A's are right now, you just win, and the rest of it take care of itself.
Quick 0-2 to Dustin Ackley. Wells to be next, and then Seager. We do know that the Baltimore Orioles won their game tonight at home over the Boston Red Sox in a blowout. It's 9-1.
Grand slam early, got him on the board.
What a surprise.
Yep.
Strike 3 called right there, and Ackley took him. So that's out number 1 here in the first inning.
Good two-seam fastball. See where Kataris is set up. Watch the movement.
Right fielder, number 30.
Probably could start it in a little bit more, but great movement, freezing the left-hander, and Eric Cooper liked it. Right on the right shoulder of the A's catcher George Kataris, and a good way to start the game.
So here's Casper Wells, right-handed hitter. And a first pitch strike.
See how many players start growing their off-season beards in September? It's amazing. It is incredible.
Swing and a miss by Wells, and it's 0-2. Griffin, as he usually does, comes out throwing strikes. That fastball a little bit high. Wells hitting .224 with 8 home runs, 30 runs batted in. Curveball, and it's lined down the left field line, and it is just foul. I don't know that Wells hit that real well, maybe off the end of the bat. And was out in front a little bit.
Well, it's a good curveball. It stayed up a little bit too much for A.J. Griffin, but it's also an account in which a lot of times hitters shorten up their swing a little bit. Enough inches foul that really wasn't a major call by Mike Winters, the third base umpire, but the curveball that A.J. throws, it is thrown so violently as far as the delivery, but it's very softly thrown, about 68, 69, but usually pitching backwards good when it's a fastball count.
Wells checks his swing, pitches outside, so 2-2.
Well, after the slow curve comes back with a cut fastball, Wells almost offered at it. Fastball
is inside. Well, these Seattle Mariners are coming from Anaheim. They won yesterday 9-4. That was the final game of that series. And they salvaged the final game. See, Eric Cooper is calling balls and strikes. Pop up foul territory. Moss is under it, and he's got it. So that's out number 2, and that gets us to our Ford Wright choice. September 7th of this year, A.J. Griffin faces the Mariners in Seattle. Goes 5 1/3. Gives up just 1 earned run. He strikes out 7, and he got the win. And that's his only start in his career, obviously, against the Seattle Mariners.
The 5 1/3 actually very unusual for him. That's the exception of the time when he left in the second because of an injury. He had thrown at least 6 innings, but in that game he made some good adjustments. And talking to him after the game, Jim Joyce, the veteran umpire behind the plate, wasn't getting a lot of the calls. Jeff fastball was missing, so he started going the cut fastball to the lefties, and it started working effectively for him.
Seager off the end of the bat drops it into center field. So Kyle Seager has a 2-out single. And that'll bring up Jesus Montero, the designated hitter.
Batting in the 4th position.
Target outside, pitch outside. Trying to go backdoor cutter off the end of the bat. Seager just having a very good season. At least when the A's see him, he always does something special. And he's had a great year with 18 home runs and the 82 driven in. I still say he is the Justin Ackley of 2012.
Yeah.
Ackley had a similar season last year, struggled in his second.
Mariners, I'm sure next year would like to see both those guys have good seasons. Ackley not having a good year. Montero having a pretty good year. 15 home runs, 58 RBIs.
The A's shading him accordingly. His opposite field power, which was actually suited very nicely for the Yankee Stadium, a right-handed hitter. Eric Wedge, the manager, the second season. It's a stat, the home runs in 16 straight games. But Montero played for the Yankees before the big trade with Ada, and he had a perfect swing for Yankee Stadium. Right field power.
He would hit some there, no doubt about it. He is big and strong.
That's hack on 3.
Let it go, big fella.
He didn't care about hitting the ball to right field that swing. This is, I'm going to pull it. And just swung right through it, and good fastball, a little extra on it from Griffin.
John Jaso would be next, and the pitch to Montero is a strike. Well, we're also watching the Angels-Rangers game, but what a series that is. And the Angels are leading 6-1 in the 7th inning. So they're starting to become a scary team, the Angels. Foul straight back. So that game again in the 7th, so we'll keep you updated on that.
You know, they're scary because they're a bunch of veterans and probably a little bit embarrassed that they're not leading the division, which they were expected to do, considering the money their owners spent in the offseason. The Mariners beat them yesterday. They're trying to rebound and beat the Rangers tonight.
Montero takes and the pitch is outside, so he walks. So a little 2-out rally here for the Mariners.
On a 3-2 curveball, that's the time to start it, similar to the one that they threw Casper Wells. Throw it almost for a strike, because you're going to fool most hitters with a curveball on 3-2 because they're going to be sitting some sort of a fastball. And when he saw the curveball, Montero started but held up his swing.
So here's John Jaso. Pretty good left-handed hitter. Jaso hitting .275, 10 home runs, 50 runs batted in. He's the catcher. The other game we're watching, the White Sox leading the Rays 2-1 in the bottom of the 6th inning in Chicago. So that is a big series in the Windy City. White Sox now 2 behind Detroit. And the Rays and the Angels 2 behind the A's for the second wild card. One and one the count to Jaso. Strike 1-2. So that's updated with the Orioles win. The other two teams just told you where they're at in their games.
Two very good curveballs. Jaso has not swung the bat with the two curveballs he's seen from AJ.
He gets a fastball and does take a rip at that one.
And the one consistent for AJ Griffin in his last few starts, a lot of pitches early. And as a result, his last start, 4 1/3 against the Tigers, 4 2/3. There it is. Difference in his ERA, everything different.
Jaso pops it up, shallow left field. Cespedes coming in, and he's got it side retired. So Jaso strands a pair. We're going to the bottom of the first, no score. No, the Mariners strand a couple runners in the top of the first. So here come the Athletics. And here's the lineup. Good to have Coco Crisp back in. Leadoff spot. Then Drew, Cespedes, Moss, Reddick, Donaldson, Smith, Gataris, and Pennington.
Right-hander Blake Bevan on the mound for the Mariners. The A's saw him back early part of the season and helped the Mariners win the series against the Athletics in the middle of April. Picked up a win, and you see his numbers on the season. 25th start for the right-hander. Fastball low 90s. He'll throw the conventional 4 pitches. Also throw the 2 and 4 seam fastball. Do a cutter also. Pretty good pitcher, and the attorneys are back.
Good to see the guys in right field and gals. They're probably thinking, man, he's been gone for a long time.
They have.
We're all glad to be back home, believe me. Bevan's first pitch to Coco Crisp is high.
I remember when Coco was out because of the inner ear infection on the disabled list. This time he did not go on the DL, but he came back, struggled a little bit at that point, and we hope that is not the case this time. Coming back for Coco after missing basically the entire road trip, except for the one game he started in Detroit, first game of the series, but just a couple of at-bats.
Well, the timeline for Coco, Ray just mentioned it. The 15th was his last full game. The 18th was that start in Detroit where he got 2 at-bats. So it's been 9 games since his last start. But that one start was abbreviated. So it's been a little while for Coco Crisp. Takes low, 3-1.
One thing we talk about Coco, of course, being the igniter, the leader of this club, offensively, playing a great center field. He missed 10 games in 3 of the biggest parks in the American League. American Park, Yankee Stadium, and Rangers Ballpark in Arlington. The A's were able to come back home with a 4-6 record against 3 very tough teams, all 3 fighting for a spot in postseason. Cespedes patrolled some center field. Reddick was there.
So Bevan with the payoff pitch. Coco hits one high to right. Wells is going back, and that baby is gone. 1-0 Athletics.
Come on, Coco. It's not that easy. Second this month, September the 1st, against the Red Sox at Coco Crisp. I think his eyes are okay, Kite.
Saw that one. So here's Stephen Drew. '22nd home run that Bevan has given up this year. In 139 innings, so that's a pretty fair amount.
As I mentioned, Coco was on the disabled list, and I think it's about 1 for 23 when he came back at that time. But this is different, and what a way to start his first game after missing about 10 games.
1-1 pitch to Drew. Inside. 269 is the average for Drew, and that is the average with the Athletics. Now 3-1.
Yeah, the impressive thing about Coco Crisp home run, because it is late September, game starting at 7:07, it's dark, and which means it's cooler weather.
It is dark. You're right.
Yeah, but I mean that's the difference in the time of the year, and normally when it starts to get a little bit cooler, the ball doesn't carry as well. So that's how hard he hit the ball for the home run.
That one's hit well to left center field. Trayvon Robinson's back, and that one is off the wall.
Caught it.
Oh, he caught it.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Caught it against the wall. Yeah.
I didn't even see that. Apologies, folks, but a nice play by Trayvon Robinson.
Well, that's a difference of Coco pulling the ball. Stephen Drew trying to go opposite field, and Robinson went back, and I thought it's going to get up off the wall at least, and maybe even over. And boy, he caught it right in the. Look at the heel of the glove. He's got a big glove, but right in the heel, and brings it right down. A reverse snow cone. Usually the snow cone's at the end of the webbing. This is down the heel of the glove.
Saw some white there somewhere.
There's a lot of white because the snow cone, but I've never seen it that type of snow cone. He didn't even bother to try to put it up in the webbing of the pocket.
So a nice play. Drew hit that ball well. Tomorrow, it's high off the wall.
It's probably back-to-back home runs to start the game. I think it's supposed to be nice over the weekend. Beautiful weather.
Cespedes rips one toward right, but Wells was shaded toward right center, and he's got it.
Coco Crisp.
In the 4th position.
Great swing, fastball down the middle, sounded great. And I think Coco had a pretty good idea. He's hit enough home runs, 11 on the season. He knows when he gets into it well enough, and that was clearly over the out-of-town scoreboard by plenty. And this is all upper body. Remember, he hardly strides, if any, when he has a couple of strikes, and that time he showed off the upper body strength. Another leadoff home run.
Our Exmo brought to you by Cache Creek Casino Resort. As Brandon Moss hits 20 homers, 42 RBIs, and a 280 average. I think, Ray, with Moss, we think about the home runs and how many he's hit in really not a lot of games, but we should not forget about the batting average has come a long way. I mean, he's up to 280.
He's putting it all together, using the whole field. As he did yesterday, he hit a home run to right field. But the great thing about Brandon Moss, you go up to him, how you doing, Brandon? He said, living a dream.
He's a happy
Every
man.
time you talk to him, he's smiling, and he said, I'm living a dream. And everybody plays Major League Baseball. Who wouldn't be living a dream? Putting on a Major League uniform every day. And for him, a great season. More home runs he's ever hit in any one season. Very versatile, plays first base, can play the outfield. Just really enjoys the game of baseball. Playing first base where he gets a chance to visit with players if they're fortunate to reach first base.
Fastball inside.
One of three the A's hit yesterday in the 9th inning alone, or the 8th inning against Mike Adams. Probably the biggest yesterday. The second one, even the first one hit by Josh Reddick. He got to the 30 home run mark, now 31, and may ignite him for the remainder of this regular season.
3-2 pitches outside, and Moss walks.
That's an aggressive at bat. He drew a walk, started 0-2, and then draws the walk.
Batting in the 5th position, right fielder, number 16.
So that'll bring up Reddick.
Brandon Inge. Yeah. He's pointing with his left because of the right shoulder surgery. You know what he said? He's supposed to have this sling on for 6 weeks. I decided a week was enough. Dr. Pont was down and said, hey, good to see you, Brandon. How you feeling? He said, I'm in the lineup. He goes, what? No, not quite. But good to see him in uniform. And I think he'll let anybody who wants to use his Bernie song and have the walk-up music. It's going to help.
Reddick, 245, 31 homers, 81 RBIs. All right, here's our true story brought to you by McDonald's. Yesterday, Reddick, a couple of home runs, 30 and 31. First athletic to hit 30 home runs since Jack Cust hit 33 back in 2008. So, took a while to get 30, and then he got it. And soon after that, he got number 31. So, hard not to think about if you're a hitter sitting on 29 home runs and the season getting closer and closer to the end. This one hit high, foul territory, and Seager a long run, and he caught it. Nice play by the third baseman Kyle Seager, and a run a long ways. A's get a run on Coco Crisp's leadoff home run, his 11th home run this year. So 1-0 A's after 1.
positions. First baseman, number 17, Justin Smoke.
Well, nothing A's thanks to the Coco Crisp leadoff home run. Top of the second, it'll be Smoke, Saunders, and Trayvon Robinson for the Mariners. Justin Smoke hitting .213, 19 homers, 49 RBIs. The story with him right now is he's hot.
Yes, he is.
Look at that. 19 for his last 44.
It's a matter of time, and I don't think you can look at his numbers this September as being it's just September. I think you're starting to see what the Mariners had hoped they would get when they traded for him.
So you think maybe he's starting to figure it out?
Yep, I think he's figured it out, and in a switch hitter, A.J. Griffin, very impressive numbers on a shutdown, 22 of 26.
Well, I think you and I have always agreed on Smoke. He's got the look like he's going to be a good player, but the numbers just haven't been there, and he's only been around for a couple of years. Big, strong switch hitter, pretty good first baseman. And I think if you're the Mariners, if they want to have any success going ahead the next 3-4 years, he has to become a very good player. That one's hit high to right, down the line. Reddick into the corner, and it is foul.
Yeah, you see numbers, and A.J. Griffin knows them, and so does George Gutaris. I think he knew the fastball was coming. He got it, and he crushed it. Fortunately, he was out in front of it because went way up high above the foul pole, and Marty Foster making the call.
And when it goes above the foul pole, that's when it can be a difficult call for an umpire.
Yeah, it's not passing in front of it, which is a clear call.
3-2 pitch. This one's hit high toward Coco Crisp in center field. Now into right center. That's out number 1. A's Baseball on Comcast Sports at California is brought to you by Roaring Camp Railroads. Dinner Roaring Camp style is sizzling steaks, a moonlit steam train ride, and singing around the campfire. RoaringCamp.com.
That's the way you're supposed to pitch. Fastball away, let him try to pull it the way he pulled it foul, and hit it straight away center. It's just an easy catch.
And here is Michael Saunders, who swings and misses. Saunders, 17 home runs, 51 runs batted in. Saunders getting a chance to play pretty much every day. Just trying to get a good look at this guy. Good pitch there by Griffin right on the inside corner.
I was going to say that Jack Sorensky, the general manager, has put a good manager in place, and that is Eric Wedge. Got a good staff, good manager. And for A.J. Griffin, perfect fastball on the inside corner.
Well, at some point soon, I think the Mariners will start to make a little move. They got a very good farm system. So that's what we've been told.
Eric Wedge was young when he managed the Tribe, but he's still young. Managing the Mariners, his second team. Got your buddy Robbie Thompson there, is always looking for you.
Bench coach.
Chris Chambliss, the snatcher, is the hitting coach. Carl Willis, pitching coach. Jeff Datz, good group of guys.
Bounce toward Pennington, and that is out number 2.
That's out number 2, but unfortunately, it's the 4th batter. And A.J. Griffin's going to 3-2 count. His pitch count's already approaching 40. And while he's getting the outs, he's making a lot of pitches. And it seems right now, the good curveball that he has, the great spin, the hitters are recognizing it. They're not swinging at it.
It's a good call. You're right.
Especially the lefties, because the curveball is coming into them, and they're able to see it. And so it's called making a change down as you're going through a game. Seeing hitters, and that's something the catcher will will watch. Guitarists will watch also. They're not swinging at his pitch.
Do you think that's just also him having made this is his 14th start now? I mean, he's got a pretty good pattern going.
Yeah. And he just threw a changeup, which is now maybe a pitch that he's going to go to, especially against lefties, because the curveball is not being swung at. That was.
And hit towards center. Coco going back, still going back, and he's near the wall, and he leaps, and that one is gone.
Wow.
Trayvon Robinson goes to one of the deepest parts of the ballpark, and we're tied at 1.
Wow.
Bad, baby.
On a night game, guy who's not a power hitter, you just do not expect that ball to go out of the ballpark.
And he provided his own power. That's a slow curveball, but he left it up. A.J. Griffin left the curveball up, and it just kept carrying. Coco's going to stop about the edge of the warning track and make the play, but just ran out of room. Great jump, and just, right off the tip of his glove.
So home run number 3 for Robinson, and we're tied 1-1. This is the shortstop, Brendan Ryan. Ryan, 196, 3 homers, 31 RBIs. The Mariners don't hit much. They're last in the American League in runs scored, second to the last in runs scored in the major leagues. Only the Houston Astros have scored fewer runs. What they do is they pitch pretty well, and they field the ball extremely well. Pennington shuffles to his right, guns it to first side, retired. Trayvon Robinson with a solo home run, bottom of the second coming up, and we're tied at 1.
Leading off the bottom of the second inning for the Athletics, third baseman, number 20, Josh Donaldson.
All right, here's our Farmers Insurance report card. Top batting average by American League third baseman since August 14th. I want to be on that list, Ray. It's a good one. A couple of MVP candidates, Beltre, Cabrera, and our own Josh Donaldson. So he's been very good since being brought back up. It's hard to describe how much different of a hitter he is now than he was at the beginning of the year when he started the season as third baseman.
A lot more confidence, a lot of confidence, playing great at third, and that kind of goes hand in hand with his offense.
So 1-1 game. Home run by Crisp for the A's. Home run by Robinson for the Mariners. Donaldson will be followed by Smith and Kataris. Curve stays high.
I think the one thing that everybody's surprised about, I just saw Ken Wilson outside the door, and of course he broadcast a couple of years for the A's, and the way the ball's carrying tonight. They were talking Rick Riz and Ken on the radio side for the Mariners, said it's not the way it's supposed to be carrying, maybe the afternoon, but not nighttime. So maybe that will be the type of night it is.
Not usually the way it is.
No.
So 2-2 the count to Donaldson. That breaking ball from Bevan, kind of a slur of action. So full count. Angels still leading the Rangers. It's 7-2. Top of the 8th inning in Arlington. Donaldson hits one very high to left field. Robinson going back. And Robinson has it. So that's out number 1. We had a no-hitter tonight, Ray. Homer Bailey, Cincinnati Reds right-hander, in Pittsburgh, throws a no-hitter. 10 strikeouts, 115 pitches, and it's the 7th no-hitter in the big leagues this season. Now, our terrific statistician, BI, says 7 no-hitters matches the modern record for most no-hitters in a season. 1990 there were 7, and there were 7 in 1991.
But were there 3 perfect games in those years?
Probably not. Hot shot to Smoke. So that's out number 2. So Homer Bailey, he of the Cincinnati Reds, who are headed to the postseason, no hits the Pirates, and that's a little salt in the wound to the Pirates.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that little dagger, because they were eliminated from any postseason play, trying to get to the 500 mark, which was an uphill battle considering their record, and now they have a no-hitter.
Well, they're now 76-81, so you gotta win out to get to 500. If you're the Pirates. Tough slide for Pittsburgh, but a big year for the Cincinnati Reds.
And we wish Dusty Baker, their manager, the best, and some health issues. And hope he is able to come back strongly, especially in postseason for them.
Well, the Reds have a chance to finish with the best record in the National League. They're very close with the Washington Nationals. One and 1 to George Kataris, and there's a strike. 1-2. Well, it's good to see Brandon McCarthy, A's nominee for the Roberto Clemente Award. He looks good. So, enjoying being around his teammates again. To left field, you never know tonight. Robinson going back, and he's in front of the wall, and he makes the catch. We're in a bandbox tonight, I think.
We are.
1-1 after 2. Brandon McCarthy ceremony. Again, he's the Roberto Clemente nominee for the Athletics. Each team has a nominee for that award. All 30 teams in Major League Baseball. So Brandon McCarthy, congratulations. And it's good to see him back in uniform. You know, the young pitchers talked about how much he meant to them, and they missed him when he was gone, so he's back.
Well, that's a good point, because he's back and would be here, assuming the remainder of the regular season. Same for Brandon Inge on the position player side, able to be with the club in uniform and talk a little baseball. Matter of fact, they're the bookends for Travis Blackley.
But you can see the scar on his on the right side of his head. Ackley flips one toward left near the line. Cespedes has it. He met with the media before the game tonight.
Now batting, number 33, Casper Wells.
So let's hope he can get back to baseball activity soon. Donaldson to his left, reaches down, grabs it, and throws out Casper Wells. So that's out number 2. So one of 30 nominees for the Roberto Clemente Award. It recognizes the player who best exemplifies the game of baseball, sportsmanship, community involvement, and a positive contribution to their team. So you can vote through October 14th for Brandon McCarthy at MLB.com/Roberto Clemente. So 2 outs here in the top of the 3rd. Kyle Seager will hit. The White Sox leading the Rays 3-1 in the 8th inning. And the Tigers lost tonight, Ray. In Minnesota, the Twins scored a couple of runs late and beat the Tigers 4-2. So the White Sox have an opportunity to pick up a game and be just 1 game behind the Tigers.
Well, the White Sox have not been getting the big hit. They had a chance to win last night or yesterday afternoon if they'd gotten a hit in a timely part of the ball game. Just could not do it. Bases loaded against James Big Game Shields, and did not get a run out of it.
Seager had a base hit in the 1st inning. You go with the nachos and the pretzel combination.
That's the best thing I've ever seen.
Best pretzels in the league right here at the Coliseum.
And the nachos, I think, the best in baseball.
Best nachos
right
in the league.
Right.
Once we get around to more of the National League cities, we'll be able to tell you if it's best nachos in all of baseball.
Well, nothing could compare to the food here. It's just the greatest. I mean, you got Chef Rodney, and got, he's always putting out the specialties, which sometimes we see, sometimes we don't.
More action for Cespedes. He goes back. He's got it. That's a 3-up, 3-down inning for A.J. Griffin. Pennington to lead it off in the bottom of the 3rd. We're tied at 1. question. Jim from Hillmar asks, I'd like to know why the A's take the first pitch 99% of the time. It usually is a good pitch. Looks like they would get more hits by jumping on the first pitch. But, of course, what do we know? Thanks. Jim, I like that. I like that.
What do we know?
Jim could work right between you and I. What do we know? So Jim thinks...
Swing the bat.
Cliff Pennington, you're not helping us here, buddy. We'll get some numbers to see if Jim is accurate. Now he may be exaggerating a little bit on the 99%.
I think so. I think he was just throwing out one of those.
So he's saying, hey, why not jump on that first pitch if it's a strike a little more often? There's a line drive just over the head of Ackley.
And that's the reason. You know why? That Cliff Pennington, you have something you're going to... we're going to show the numbers for it, and then I'll give my explanation for this question.
So the A's offense this season, percentage of first pitches taken, 76%, fourth highest in the AL. Percentage of first pitches swung at, second lowest in the AL. All right, so Jim's numbers were exaggerated, but his point was they seem like they take a lot of pitches, and they do.
Well,
first pitch.
Here's my point on this. This is September the 28th. The last time the A's saw Blake Bevan was on April the 15th in his only start of the season against the A's. So if you're Cliff Pennington, in the case of taking a fastball down the middle, there are times you want to see the delivery of a pitcher. You want to see what kind of velocity. You know going in he throws a certain velocity, certain pitches. But it also shows a lot of confidence in the hitter who will take a first pitch fastball. And then, as it turns out, he gets a hit on the next pitch he sees. I think there are a lot of times a hitter will jump on a fastball or a pitch early in the count because he doesn't want to get to the pitcher's strikeout pitch, which might be a great splitter or some sort of a pitch that he doesn't want to see. So there are various reasons. But I think it's, as time goes, Cespedes swings a lot of first pitches. And Coco has a tendency to swing at first pitches as well. But first at bat, went 3-2.
Well, it's interesting you say that about Bevan because we talked to some of the Mariners announcers about Bevan, like we usually do, and they said he is pitching a little bit different now than he was at the beginning of the year. They said he's actually throwing fewer fastballs.
Yeah, we've seen that tonight.
They said he's using a bit of a different breaking ball now than he was at the beginning of the year. So he has changed his style a little bit.
But I will say, and I know, heard me mention it before about Adam Roden, the A's video coordinator. I mean, he puts it all together. So I'm sure the guys got a chance to see Blake Bevan pitching. All the hitters did prior to the game, so they have an idea. But there's nothing better than to stand at home plate and see it firsthand.
That one's ripped to right field, but it's right at Wells, who guns it back to first. It sails all the way to the backstop nearly. Jaso grabs it. So Wells comes up throwing, and he gunned it right through the infield. Jaso being heads up was there.
Coco again swung the bat well, hit it hard. No elevation on this one, and Casper Wells thought Pennington had gotten off the back far enough, but see, the catcher Jaso was kind of moving over behind first base in case of a bad throw, which there was one, but he didn't move so far over that he couldn't react and go back and keep Pennington at first.
So another well-hit ball by Coco Crisp. And that'll bring up Stephen Drew. Drew drives one. Right field. And that baby is gone.
Now they're drewing him. You know, the last time Stephen tried to go to left field and said, probably, I think I'm going to pull it. It'll be much easier because he got the top hand, he got the elevation, and he crushed it. What a great swing at Exmo. The continuation, the follow through of the swing, it sounded great. Left his bat So there have been some hard hit balls in this inning. And this one goes high above the out-of-town scoreboard. The second home run the A's have hit. They were hit 5 yesterday. And the second already in this game.
Right, they had 9 total home runs in that series in Texas.
That was a first pitch fastball.
Yeah.
But see, Drew had seen 5 pitches in its first at bat against Belly. So this time he had an idea. Maybe he's going to throw me a fastball. Look at it, opened up, jumped on it, and liked what he saw in the first offering. And very, very good swing. Got the power. We have seen it. At Nova, curveball in New York, straightaway center at Yankee Stadium.
Toward the shortstop, Ryan. The bat goes toward the third baseman, Seager. And that's out number 2. So that one breaks the bat of Cespedes.
Now batting, first baseman
Kevin Fennell collecting all the broken parts of the bat. He picked up some chips, third base, and take it in, give it to Steve Vucinich. Now X-ray, find out why this bat break as badly as it did. Nobody would want it as a souvenir.
That sounded good.
There's Kevin. He's growing the beard also. Trying to. It's kind of one of those that's starting, but doesn't know how it's going to finish up. We'll see this was the bat.
Oh, 1 pitch is a breaking ball, and now it's 0-2. So Stephen Drew with a 2-run homer. So a crisp home run and a Drew home run. The A's lead 3-1. Bevan trying to get in on Moss.
Well, I think you said it best. The A's might be coming home to play in a bandbox. I mean, this is normally not a type of night or stadium that the ball is going to carry as well as we've seen 3 home runs hit already in this game. But warm weather during the day, not as warm tonight, but expect to be very nice tomorrow and Sunday. Afternoon games. Both to be televised right here on Comcast Sportsnet California in high definition.
That's right. Remember, tomorrow was not originally a televised game. It is now. Since the break, 106 home runs now for the A's. Smoke charges, gets a good hop, steps on the bag. Side retired. The A's, another long one. Stephen Drew, 2-run shot. So we're headed to the 4th. It's the A's 3 and the Mariners 1.
National Network coverage of the MLB postseason begins with the wild card games on Friday, October the 5th. Check local listings for the dates, times, and channels in your area. Friday, October the 5th. That is 1 week from today. It's amazing how quickly it has been. Remember what happened a year ago on this date, Kite? Where we were and what happened?
We were in Seattle, Montero. First pitch swinging. Coco has it.
And some consider maybe the greatest day in the history of Major League Baseball with what happened on the East Coast, in Baltimore, Tampa, Atlanta, St. Louis. I mean, all the great things that happened on the final day of the regular season, and may never see it again, although maybe more considering what is happening with the second wild card, especially in the American League.
Coco coming on, and he's going to play it on a hop. So Jaso has a hit. Well, I don't know if it'll ever be as crazy as that, as far as just it was like a 10-minute time frame, but hey, it could get crazy this year. You never know.
Nice article, and I think at the MLB or something today that the Rays needed the Orioles to defeat the Red Sox, and they had to defeat the Yankees. All this taking place, and there happened to be a rain delay in Baltimore while they were hosting the Red Sox. And evidently Joe Madden, the manager of the Rays, he's a big wine connoisseur. He sent a bottle of wine to Buck Showalter. 2008, some Cabernet said, "Go get him, Buck." And they got him.
And they did.
They got him. So that's a little bit different story this year for Buck Showalter and his Orioles, because they're trying to go get them themselves, and they're doing a pretty good job of it.
Well, the Yankees just won their game in Toronto 11-4, so Yankees hold on to their 1-game lead over the Orioles. Two and one out of smoke. Jaso at first after the 1-out single.
Yeah, very.
Moss has it, spins around, throws to second, to first, run a double play. Moss picked it on the ground ball and then made a nice throw, and it turns out to be a 3-6-3 double play. Very nice play, and that's how the top of the fourth ends.
Pick it, throw it, take the throw back. What a great 3-6-3. Hard hit ball, could have been a double. You want to see a great play by first baseman Brandon Moss. Watch him snag it to his left, throw to second, a perfect throw to Stephen Drew, and back to Brandon Moss. There is your tailor-made great 3-6-3 double play started by Brandon Moss. And remember, he started the season with Darren Bush at AAA as an outfielder, and said to Darren Bush, who is with the club,
I need to learn how to play first base. So he's not your everyday Gold Glove type first baseman, but he's playing like one right now.
First pitch to Reddick is outside from Blake Bevan. Reddick fouled out to third. Seager ran down toward the bullpen area and made a nice running catch.
I've started to put a red C next to an out like that called the Coliseum out.
Oh, yeah.
As far as Seager had to run to catch it and did a great job getting to the ball, but clearly the ball that every other park in baseball is in the seats.
I would love to know the number at the end of the year.
I think A's pitching coach Kurt Young does something of that nature.
Shot right center field, and Casper Wells makes a catch, goes into a slide. So that's out number one, but a hard hit ball by Reddick. Here's our trivia question. It's brought to you by AT&T. Question is, what player had the most hits for the A's in the 2006 season? That's the last time the A's made the postseason. So who led the A's in hits that year?
Well, I don't know if he's the answer, but one Milton Bradley had a great 2006 season. Maybe the only one he had for the A's, but it was a great one because during the season and right in the postseason. Nick Hurt was there.
Yeah.
Swisher
had a good year.
Like every time Big Hurt hit a home run, Nick Swisher hit a home run. Then Swisher and Milton Bradley had their dance.
Robinson fouls it straight back. Eric Chavez. Marco Scudero played a lot for that team.
Marco had the big double here at the Coliseum against the Twins to cap their 3-game sweep of the Twins.
Oh, 2 to Donaldson. And he swings and misses at the Bevan breaking ball. That's the first strikeout for Bevan. He is not a big strikeout pitcher.
Perfectly thrown outside. They're staying away from Josh Donaldson. And the one thing that Donaldson's going to realize that he is pulling a lot of pitches, but the way the scouting report is shown, the way the video is shown, they're going to see that he pulls, and if he opens up, he's going to get a lot of breaking balls. The more he hits the ball to right field, which he's capable, the better he's going to have an opportunity to get some pitches on the inner half of the plate, the ones that he can pull.
Seth Smith steps in. The White Sox are leading 3-1 over the Rays, and it is the top of the 9th inning. So the White Sox 3 out away from picking up a game in the standings on the first place Tigers. And that would help the A's pin a loss on the Rays. Rays 2 back of the A's right now in the wild card.
Ben Zobrist hit a home run to give the Rays an early 1-0 lead, but an error by Hellickson. A throw to pick off at first base resulted in runner moving to second base, and then RBI single by Kevin Youkilis. Youkilis has to be happy to be with the Sox, but not the Red Sox, the White Sox, and they're trying to get to postseason where his former team is not. Is it that cold?
Little heating pad. Let's check it out.
He's got his little finger on his right hand. His throwing hand bandaged, so he's trying to keep it warm.
Do what you got to do, right?
Great shortstop. He needs the arm, needs the hand, and the play. You have to wonder if he's trying to keep it warm. It shows how much he wants to play. You know, this time of the year, where the Mariners are, he could be saying, "Give me some time off," but He is good. He has been a great shortstop for Eric Wedge, and it's great to hear Eric Wedge talk about him saving more runs than he'll ever drive in, and he's a great defensive player, and forget about the offense that maybe he's not putting up the great numbers.
Possible Gold Glove winner.
Well, every time I think about him and his shortstop play, I think of the late Mark Belanger. Played shortstop for the Orioles, and he had about $190, but Earl Weaver didn't care.
Nope.
Because he could turn double plays, great defensive shortstop, and unfortunately passed away. But Ryan, an outstanding defensive shortstop.
Another 3-2 to Smith, and another foul ball. See, Qatar's hoping to get a chance to hit in this inning. Smith grounded out to Smoke in the second inning. This one's popped up. Seager over near the A's dugout, but it's into the first row. And then back out onto the field. They've started the bottom of the ninth in Arlington. Angels 7, Rangers 4. So Texas got a couple of runs in the bottom of the 8th inning. So Frieri is in now trying to save it for the Angels, who are looking for their 6th win in the last 7 games. So we got a good battle here between Bevan and Smith. It is already a 10-pitch at bat.
Shaking off a lot of pitches to finally get the one he thinks he can get him out on 3-2.
And he did, and it was off speed. So a couple of strikeouts, the first 2 strikeouts in the game for Bevan. So we're headed to the 5th inning. The A's lead the Mariners 3-1.
Make sure you come to the Coliseum Sunday, September the 30th. That's the day after tomorrow. 10,000 fans will receive an A's Deuce Brand Sports Watch presented by Pepsi when the A's take on the Seattle Mariners. For more information and tickets, go to OaklandAthletics.com. Should be a great Sunday. Should be a great Saturday. Couple of day games here at the Coliseum, and again, great weather expected, and expect great crowds as well. We hope as they continue to watch this team can play so well.
Saunders, Robinson, and Ryan for the Mariners here in the top of the 5th inning. 64 pitches for Griffin. So the 4th inning helped them a lot. Double play to end it.
Well, he had 10 pitches in the 3rd, 7 in the 4th that you mentioned, which after 45 of the first 2, it's nice to see him come back and get back to his normal style of pitching.
2-2 the count to Saunders, who bounced out to 2nd in the 2nd inning.
As we have mentioned many times, so many rookies pitching for the Athletics in the rotation. All rookies are there right now, but watching A.J. Griffin and how he has been able to adapt, make changes when he feels maybe a certain pitches are not working. It's great to see with a young pitcher.
So a full count. Griffin, 1 walk, 1 strikeout so far in the game. And a high fastball. Saunders chased it. He popped it up. Stephen Drew has it, and that's out number 1. So this is Trayvon Robinson, and this is what he did in the 2nd inning. Big breaking ball, and strong. Is strong.
Because that was a curveball about belt high, and he hit it to the deepest part of the park. 3 home runs that A.J. Griffin gave up to the Tigers at Comerica Park. Then Nick Swisher took him deep on Sunday at Yankee Stadium.
On 1 to Robinson. That was his 3rd home run of the year, and he goes after a changeup, and it's 0-2. Looks like tonight, anyways. Griffin's changeup may be a better pitch for him than his curveball.
Well, and that's what was surprising. He threw the great changeup to Robinson on the 1-0, swung and missed, then came back with a hanging curveball. So maybe he learned from that.
Strike 3 call. Robinson turns around to talk to Eric Cooper, and doesn't matter. It's the 2nd strikeout. For an October Quest update, let's head back to the studio.
Now batting, number 26, Brendan Ryan.
All right, so final in Chicago. I think the one thing, and the Rays they can't afford to lose, certainly, but the one thing they do have in their favor a little bit is their final 3 games are against the Orioles. So for them, at least you're playing somebody you're chasing, but you don't want to fall too far behind.
Well, the fastball location is supposed to be inside, and Gutierrez with Eric Cooper, the home plate umpire, peeking around the corner and liked the call. Robinson didn't, but I think from what Robinson thought, did a hanging curveball, took a fastball maybe off the plate.
Touch. Brendan Ryan grounded out in his first at bat. Brendan Ryan, a couple good years with the St. Louis Cardinals as their shortstop. There's that breaking ball. He was traded to Seattle by the Cardinals in December of 2010. So this is his 2nd year with the Mariners.
Just in time to miss a world championship.
Yeah.
Cardinals won it all last season.
Another big sweeping curveball. It's outside, 2-2. the Mariners probably not real happy with Eric Cooper, but A.J. Griffin is. He gets a couple of strikeouts.
Don't miss out on A's postseason baseball. Individual game tickets for potential wild card and American League Division Series games at the Coliseum are on sale right now. Tickets are available online at oaklandathletics.com/postseason, over the phone by calling 877-493-BALL, or at the Coliseum box office. Exciting times here at the Coliseum and with the Oakland Athletics, and the spectacular season continues. And they'd like to continue this weekend right on through Wednesday, regular season.
Gutierrez hit a fly ball to left field in the second inning.
Gutierrez hit the winning home run in the extra inning game in Texas, and also Derek Norris a big 2-run home run yesterday. So both catchers swinging the bat well. 12 home runs between the A's two catchers who started catching for the club late. Former catchers going to postseason.
Kurt Suzuki, yeah, so good for Kurt.
Former A's pitcher who might win the Cy Young Award, Gio Gonzalez, won his 21st. Great season for the Nationals. And Steven Strasburg out. He could be very big for the Nationals postseason.
Well, the Nationals lost tonight. The Reds won, so they are tied for the best record in the National League. You're either going to get the wild card team, wild card winner, or you're going to get the Giants. One of those two. 2-2 to Gutierrez. Breaking ball hit right toward Ackley, who picks it on the short hop. So that's out number one. We got another October Quest update. Here's the studio.
Now batting, second baseman, number 2, Brett Pennington.
All right, so the Angels have now won 6 of their last 7. The Rangers, if the A's can win this one, the A's could get to 3 back. The Angels are now 5 back. So the Angels will finish their season in Seattle. Of course, the Texas Rangers will be here.
And We talked about the Rangers. Of course, the A's were hopeful of winning yesterday's game and taking 3 or 4 against the Rangers, but talk about how big the game was for the Rangers yesterday, because that did increase their lead to 4 over the Athletics. And with the Angels also losing, they gained ground on them as well, or at least picked up another game. But still, what could happen by the time Monday rolls around between what the Angels are doing in Texas and the Athletics against the Rangers here.
Pennington skies one to right field. Casper Wells is under it. So that's out number 2. So everything is final now. The Orioles win. Angels win. Rays lose. So the A's right now have a 1.5 game lead over the Angels, 2.5 over the Rays for the second wild card spot. The Orioles are 1 behind the Yankees in the East. The White Sox are 1 behind the Tigers in the Central. So here's Coco Crisp. A home run and then a line shot to Wells in right field. So a couple of hard hit balls. There's a low strike called to Coco Crisp. So Eric Cooper is calling that low strike.
Making a lot of friends.
He's going to get yelled at from both sides.
Looking forward to a lot of Christmas cards.
Slaps one down the left field line. Robinson a long run, and he dives. He cannot get it into foul territory. So Robinson has very good speed, and he had to go a long way.
Well, he has great speed, and seeing him make the defensive plays in the outfield, seeing him with the power to home run and great effort, a lot of hustle, and see where he could take some at-bats away from some players with his hustle and determination. We'll see power swing of the bat from the left side. That's what September's about at times for certain clubs, and players coming to the big leagues, showing what they can do. Eric Wedge's team playing spoilers right down to the end.
And Coco, another slicer down the left field line. This one's fair. Coco's going to try for 2, and he's going to make it with a stand-up double. So that's the 4th hit for the Athletics.
Well, after pulling a home run in his first at-bat, you can see him just waiting. Gets a slider, 0-2, and slaps it to left field. This one does stay fair. Robinson did a good job getting to the ball, but the hustling Coco Crisp, a stand-up double, and he is there with 2 outs. And well, that's smart hitting. Just get a fastball 3-2, jump on it, but then also fall behind with a couple of strikes and slap a ball to the opposite field on an off-speed pitch away from him. Well, he's back, and what a great sight to see Coco Crisp swing the bat as well as he is tonight, and back in the outfield.
Kind of important to the offense.
Well, Bob Melvin said, starting Monday in Texas, thought he's going to get him back then, and Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and finally the hope has actually come to fruition. He is back and performing great.
Pitch to Drew is bit inside, 2-0. So 2-0. Drew with a 2-run homer in the 3rd. Long one to right field. Down around the knees for a strike.
First pitch fastball, our question of the night. Why don't more players swing at the first pitch? Well, there's your answer. Stephen Drew did. So a fastball 3-1. His first at bat hit from left field to the wall that Robinson caught, but Nobody caught the one he just hit above the scoreboard in right field.
Breaking ball drops low. Looks like Drew saw that one pretty well and took it all the way, 3-1. And it's a bit inside, and it's going to be a walk. Little 2-out rally for the A's. Cespedes coming up.
Looked like that time, even on 3-1, Drew was looking fastball and got it. Carl Willis, veteran pitching coach, on a visit with his right-hander, but just like the approach on the A's hitters, it's like it's a Crisp and Drew night.
Yeah.
Top two in the batting order doing the damage.
So Eric Cooper's going to come out and break up the meeting. With that said, action in the Mariners bullpen. Oliver Perez. So the meeting is over. So here's Cespedes. Cespedes had a home run yesterday. Got that one against Mike Adams. He had a double, a triple, and 2 home runs in that series against the Rangers.
Like the extension yesterday. Ball that he crushed to left center field, the bullpen of the Athletics at the ballpark.
Swing and a miss. Off speed from Bevan, and it's 0-1. Shot toward Ryan, who knocks it down. He's going to throw across to first, not nearly in time. Cespedes hit it hard, and Ryan tried to get in front of it, which is tough to do. The ball was hit very hard.
Well, at least he knocked it down, saved the run. And with 2 outs, the A's trying to do something with 2 outs. This ball was crushed. And boy, just to stumble a little bit, the only play he felt he had was to get the speedy Cespedes. And at least he saved the run. Ball hit so hard, hit him on the heel of the glove. And Smoke did a very good job at first coming off the bag with the throw offline. No chance to get Cespedes. And that is smart play on both. Ryan to knock it down and Smoke to keep it from going past him.
It was an E6.
No. Come on. You gotta be kidding me.
That's not a good call. Oh my goodness.
Well, even Ryan's, you can see the reaction.
Well, it's not fair to the fielder, and it's not fair to the hitter.
Neither one. Well, you got 2 shortstops playing. They're
That's exactly what they're talking about, too. I guarantee.
Of course they are. Of course they are. They should be. Because that's a horrible call. Yeah. Hit a ball that hard. Who is the official score?
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Gotta be kidding.
My partner's not happy. Look out. When it's time for Change Things Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up, your oil change, tune-up, and smog experts.
Why'd you do that to me?
So Blake Bevan goes 4 2/3 innings. Gave up a couple of home runs. That accounted for all 3 of the runs. But the A's have a shot here to extend their lead. Bases loaded. Oliver Perez facing Moss. And the pitch is off the glove. And here comes Coco. Head first slide. He's in there. So it's 4-1.
I can't wait to hear the call on that one. Well, Perez has been in some interesting games here at the Coliseum against the A's, especially a couple of walks off the last time and pitched way off the plate. Coco got a little bit of a late jump, but still with his speed able to recover. He was actually going back and then took off, hit first slide, went around the tag, and Jason almost got it. But great slide by Coco. The hit first, tagging the plate with his hand. Passed ball. This is a great inning. He didn't say anything. Well, he just put it on the board. Wow. Oh, my. Target was outside. The only ball almost hit him, so it's not. Don't want to blame the pitcher for that.
Moss broken back toward Ryan at short. He's got it. Throws, and the bat and the ball end up in just about the same spot. A's gonna run, and it's now 4-1 after 5. Four to 1, the A's lead, top of the 6th inning. You think they're talking to us? Welcome home, boys. We're glad to be home. Maybe they could be talking to the players. It's possible. It was a long trip. Detroit, New York, and Texas. But also fun. I mean, the atmosphere in all 3 ballparks was terrific. Top of the order for the Mariners. A's leading 4-1. And that one's a little flare. Drew cannot quite get it. And Ackley has base hit. That'll bring up Casper Wells, and that'll also bring us to our AT&T trivia answer. What player had the most hits for the A's in 2006, the last time they made the postseason?
Now batting,
You know,
33,
it may come as a little bit of a surprise.
Wells.
Jay Payton, 165 hits. But when you remember back on that season, Ray, and you start thinking about it, he hit 5th a fair amount of the time. I mean, he had some big hits. Played a terrific outfield.
And you know, be a fastball, I would think. Who knows, though? We're waiting for official score to make the determination after all the ball that Cespedes hit. Brian got a glove on it, so that created the error. Remember at the beginning of that season, Jay Payton was not going to be starting, and he was very upset.
Yep.
And Ken Maka basically said, you know, you play yourself in the lineup, and played himself in the lineup and had a great season. But remember at the beginning, he was not going to be an everyday player. Circumstances, injuries, the whole thing, and he was there and had a great year.
And you know, Jay Payton played with a little edge, and I think that helped that team.
Yes. Well, between he and Milton Bradley,
sure,
a lot of edges.
But you know, you talk about Frank Thomas a lot and Nick Swisher, and they all had great years. But Jay Payton was terrific that season. Three and one to Wells with Seager in the on-deck circle. So Ackley with the hit and then the pass ball, and that pitch is high. And now the Mariners have something going. .84 pitches for Griffin.
Now batting, number 15, Kyle Seager.
There's the breakdown. The first inning and the second inning really got him 45 total. After that, he's been pretty good. So here's Seager, and after Seager, it's Montero. So it is the heart of the order for Seattle. So everything is final in the American League.
Bit curveball down and in, and after walking a batter, hitters of course starts to think about getting a fastball first pitch, and Seager swung as if maybe he thought he was going to get it. Doolittle, Sean Doolittle get ready to get loose, and as we have talked about, Skipper Love trying to win every game, but Sean Doolittle getting loose in the sixth inning, that says a lot there.
No question.
Normally he is the 7th, 8th pitcher now.
So 0-2 to Seager. Fastball swing and a miss. So Seager did not swing at a strike in that at bat.
Private suites are now available for all A's 2012 postseason games. Select any games from the wild card all the way through the World Series. Any unplayed games are completely refundable, and by booking your suite early, you'll lock in the best price. For more information, call 510-638-GO-A's or go to oaklandathletics.com/postseason. What a great way to watch postseason baseball in the privacy of your own luxury suite. How great is that? Now, A.J. Griffin has that little sneaky fastball, and something about his delivery, and I think Seager, you mentioned, did not swing at a strike. That last fastball up and in, it's almost like he didn't see it. He just kind of hides the ball very well. And all of a sudden, it's on top of the hitter, and he thought it was a strike, and it was not. He swung it.
It's amazing how a guy throwing 90 can get more swings and misses sometimes than a guy throwing 95.
It's all about deception, and of course the way you can hide the ball effectively, and it seems that A.J. Griffin is able to do that.
One pitch to Montero, and that's a strike at the knees. But as I was saying, Ray, that all the games are final in the American League, and nobody has clinched a playoff spot yet. So it's open.
Oh, it is open, and that's why I think going down to next Wednesday it might be looking at the scoreboard, watching, see what happens.
So you got everybody's going to have 5 games left after tonight, and nobody is going to have clinched a spot. That's in the American League. Montero toward left. Cespedes getting back. He turns around, makes the catch. So So a hard hit ball, but Cespedes got back there and then made a nice throw getting it back in.
Well, the best part was getting back on a line drive from the powerful Montero. And man, he's always scary every time he swings and makes contact. This was a bullet. Fortunately, no elevation, and Cespedes just catch the ball. And how about airing it out? Strong throw, one hop to Donaldson. There's nothing wrong with making that kind of a throw, because maybe somebody in the dugout or on the bases say, I don't think we want to run on him. Okay. You show what you can do. They don't show it in batting practice a lot because there's no infield and outfield practice. So showing it off in a game might keep the guy at a base.
So here's Jaso. Jaso with a fly ball to left and a single. And the curveball is a bit low. Then the National League, 4 teams are in, and the Cardinals are close to wrapping up the second wild card. Dodgers are chasing them. Strike with a changeup.
The Cardinals were the wild card winner last year. National League, of course. Remarkable and unbelievable run starting late August through the World Series. Well, Larissa wrote a book, which is out.
That's right.
So Diamond Vision is going to be signing books, on October the 4th, someplace locally? Or is it Petaluma? Petaluma mentioned, maybe. But see the retired skipper, see him around throughout the season.
Ackley at second, Wells at first. 2-2 the count to Jaso. And it hit the bat. The knob of the bat, I believe. Or did it not? No, they're going to give him first base. Jaso hung around home plate for a while.
Well, I think the call you made might be correct, because let's see where it hits him, because it hit hard. Looks like on the top of the hand. It's amazing how he was able to go to first base, hardly reacted, which gave you thinking that maybe it hit, but it hit right on the top of the hand, and that hit hard. Yeah, great shot and excellent.
So pitching change when it's time for a change. Think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up, your oil change, tune-up, and smog experts. Doolittle coming in to face Justin Smoak.
Is presented by authority of the Oakland Athletics and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Athletics Investment Group, LLC.
Justin Smoak.
A.J. Griffin pitches into the 6th inning, 5 2/3. But he leaves with the bases loaded. 96 pitches for Griffin. So Doolittle against Smoak. And the first pitch is right there for a strike. So a pivotal point in the game here in the top of the 6th inning. Appearance number 40 for Doolittle. 56 strikeouts in 42 innings.
Turned Justin Smoak around about right-handed, the switch hitter, powerful from both sides, but we just saw, and we have seen him swing from the left side very powerfully. Well, A.J. Griffin, really, except for the single in the 4th inning, resulted in double play. He retired essentially 9 straight from the 3rd through the 5th, but this inning gets a little bit of trouble and looking for the bullpen the rest of the way.
0-2 pitch. Fastball, foul back. Doolittle last pitched on Tuesday, and Texas went an inning in the 3rd. There are your runners. Ackley at 3rd, Wells at 2nd. Jaso is the runner at 1st. Smoak shoots one toward right center, but Reddick is there. He's got it side retired. So the Mariners leave the bases loaded. We're headed to the bottom of the 6th. It's 4-1 A's. For the Coors Light freeze can. Coors Light freeze can is brought to you by Frostbrewed Coors Light. It's the world's most refreshing beer. A's 4, Mariners 1. It's the bottom of the 6th inning.
You know the A's are playing good baseball when the Banjo Man shows up.
And he's here.
He is.
Oliver Perez delivers high to Reddick. Reddick, Donaldson, and Smith here in the bottom of the 6th. Reddick, a foul out and a line out so far in the game. He lined out to right field in the 4th inning. Blake Bevan, the starter for the Mariners, went 4 2/3 innings. Sliders low, 3-0. Perez pours it in there for strike. right-hander gets up, Sean Kelly. Line drive, base hit right center field. So Reddick has his first hit.
It's also good for Josh Reddick. Hit the ball hard as last at bat. A line drive. Nice sliding catch made by the right fielder Wells, but this time 3-1. And remember, Wednesday night, broke his 0 for 30 with a couple of hits, 2 home runs yesterday afternoon. Another multi-home run game for him. Good extension on an outside fastball in X mode. Josh Reddick finished his swing nicely. Be a great last week of the season for him, especially getting off the schneid on Wednesday in Arlington.
So Donaldson steps in. Donaldson is 0 for 2. Breaking ball is outside. Perez was a good starting pitcher at one point, but kind of lost his control and lost his way. Now trying to reinvent himself as a relief pitcher here with the Mariners. Nice play at second by Ackley. He'll get the out at first. So Reddick to second now with 1 out. We've got in-depth sports news for the Bay Area fan. It's Sportsnet Central, brought to you by Hyundai, and it's tonight at 10:30 on our sister station, Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area. Full A's post-game coverage. Brandon McCarthy will look at his night. Amazing shot at the Ryder Cup. All that and much, much more. Dave Bench, John Henry Smith will host Sportsnet Central.
Number 31, Johnny Gomes.
So Johnny Gomes is going to pinch hit for Smith. So Seth Smith was 0 for 2. Gomes gnome. And Eric Wedge is coming out, and he's going to make a move. So when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up, your oil change tune-up and smog experts. At California is brought to you by Cache Creek Casino Resort. Rockin' Cache Creek. Win a chance to play the Red Hot Zone. Visit CacheCreek.com for details. So Sean Kelly, right-hander, comes in.
One of the good arms out of the bullpen for Eric Wedge, and Carl Wells throws hard.
So he'll face Gomes with Reddick at second, 1 out. as we saw, the A's were in Seattle not long ago, Ray. There was a bunch of hard throwers down there and some new hard throwers.
Yep.
Some youngsters. We saw Carter Capps, a right-hander who was drafted just a couple years ago. Pitches low. So Johnny Gomes hitting 17 home runs, 46 runs batted in for Gomes.
You know, when a move is made with Gomes pinch hitting for Seth Smith and the right-hander warming up the bullpen, knew that this move was probably going to be made. So it's righty on righty, and they have all the numbers in case that move is made.
Right on the outside corner at the knees. It's the little strike, but that's what Cooper has been calling most of the night.
Yes, he has. That side view and just barely at the knees, and that's with the strike. He's going to throw the hard slider, probably try to get Johnny to chase.
And he throws a fastball, and it was right there, and Gomes took it. So that's the second out.
Down the middle, he might have been looking for the slider like I was, because he just nailed the fastball and Johnny could not pull the trigger. And it's kind of hard with a couple of strikes to look for anything except the baseball.
So Kataris will try to get a 2-out hit. First pitch is a ball. Kataris is 0 for 2, a fly out and a ground out so far.
Well, Eric Cooper likes the low strike. He likes the high strike. He likes the strike that's close to the outside and close to the inside.
He likes the pitch.
I think he likes all strikes.
1-2 now to Kataris. Kelly working that outside corner. Kataris not going for it. The count is 2-2. Swing and a miss, a changeup and a good one. So Kelly comes in, strikes out both hitters that he faces, and the A's do not score. Comcast Sportsnet California is brought to you by Fries.com Open. The Fries.com Open returns to Cordoval October 10th through the 14th. Tickets available at FriesOpenGolf.com. So a chilly night at the ballpark, but a good night so far as the A's leading 4-1.
Speaking of chili, the boomstick.
You want another one?
Was that ever finished? Anybody finished that?
Well, some of the crew down in Texas went after it when we left.
The boomstick.
$26 hot dog at Rangers Ballpark in Arlington. That one's driven to center, and that's deep. And that baby is gone. Michael Saunders, deep right center field on the first pitch he sees from Doolittle, and it's 4-2. So a couple of home runs tonight for the Seattle Mariners.
Well, he jumped on a first pitch fastball, and Sean Doolittle just tries to get ahead and left and right in the middle of the plate, ball high, and
number 12,
simply a hitter, thinking about it, looking for it, got it, crushed it. That didn't need launching pad. That was hit hard. Sean Doolittle provided most of the power.
Bunted. Moss grabs it and throws or runs to the bag and retires Trayvon Robinson.
Another very good play by Brandon Moss playing first base, and not an easy play, especially with the speed of Robinson, but the bad hop, the short hop, and Moss got it. And he got the out, took it himself. Look at this bad hop. It took
now
it.
batting, number 26.
He's able to take the glove to the left. Make the play.
Well, you cannot miss it at all. You better field it clean. So one out for Brendan Ryan. Furman starts to throw. There's a strike on the outside corner. Brendan Ryan is 0 for 2 in the game. And there he is, Cook. In the finals tonight, the Orioles beat Boston 9-1. Tillman over Cook. Orioles scored 6 runs in the very first inning.
Takes a lot of suspense out.
Yeah, it sure
that
did.
happens.
A couple of home runs for the Orioles.
That's the folks in Diamond Vision as the A's were taking batting practice and the crowd was arriving. They were showing the games on Diamond Vision as they were in progress back on the East Coast.
Good idea.
Yeah, very good. Saw the Orioles game, and they figured 6 runs first inning. Let's shift over to Chicago and see how the Rays are doing.
Well, tomorrow it'll be Dubron for the Red Sox, Steve Johnson for the Orioles. Yankees beat the Blue Jays 11-4. Kuroda got the win. Martin and Eric Chavez homered for New York.
The A's on the last trip beat Sanchez, Anibal Sanchez, in Detroit in the final game of the series. The final game of the series on Sunday, Kuroda pitched, didn't pitch that great. And both in the next starts have won. Right. Sanchez pitched well to win for the Tigers.
Kuroda picked up his 15th win today. Another foul ball. Andy Pettit's going to pitch tomorrow for the Yankees against Ricky Romero. Yankees with a 1-game lead in the East.
And at one time, not too long ago, they had a 10-game lead. And here they're fighting for the division lead, and
They are fighting.
right down to the wire.
Slider, pretty good pitch, but maybe a bit inside.
I think that's time when George Guitar should have tapped Eric Cooper and said, guess what, I'm going to fool everybody to throw a slider. And might have caught just the inside corner, but Cooper's right over the left shoulder, so he's looking very critically at that corner.
Drew, short hop, throws just in time to get Ryan. All right, so that's out number 2. Our Chevron pitching matchup for tomorrow's televised game against these Mariners, Vargas and Straley.
Now batting,
Vargas
13,
always seems to be kind of tough on the athletics. And again, we will be televising that game tomorrow starting at 12:30. Originally, it was not going to be televised, but it will be. So if you can't come out to the ballpark, join us right here on Comcast Sportsnet California. Top of the order for the Mariners. Ackley's 1 for 3. Twins beat the Tigers 4-2. A couple of runs in the bottom of the 8th inning. Break that Tigers 4-game winning streak.
How did Miguel Cabrera do? B.I. gets.
Yeah, no, well, he was 2 for 4.
Okay.
Did not have a RBI or a home run. Donaldson cannot quite get there.
And how about Josh Hamilton?
No home runs. What else you want to know, Ray? I bet the guys in the truck have it for you.
I've got. I knew that.
So Joe Mauer was 0 for 2, so he's hitting .322. Hamilton did not home run, did not hit a home run, and did not drive in a run. Mike Trout went 2 for 5. He's hitting .321. So a little bit of a gap in that batting average. 5 points may not sound like a lot, but at this time of year it is.
A lot of ABs, a lot of at-bats for both Cabrera and Joe Mauer, so it takes a lot to go out that much.
I mean, you almost have to go 0 for 2 to have your average drop 1 point. Popped up. Pennington back on the outfield grass. He's got it, side retired. A home run by Michael Saunders. 7th inning stretch. It's the A's 4 and the Mariners 2. Thank you, Brody. 4-2 game, bottom of the 7th inning. But it's time for change. Think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. Your oil change tune-up and smog experts. It's the left-hander, Charlie Furbush. Good season for Furbush. Strikeout guy, 52 strikeouts in 45 innings.
Been a great setup, man, for Eric Wedge this season. And with his pitching and the tall walk, good fastball, good slider. Likes to run the slider down and in to the right-handers.
Now, when the Mariners traded Doug Fister to the Tigers, one of the guys they got back was Charlie Furbush. First pitch to Pennington is inside. Pennington, a single and a run scored in the 3rd. Fly ball to right in the 5th. 2-0. The White Sox beat the Rays 3-1. We showed you that score. Floyd over Hellickson. The White Sox struggling, but they got a big win tonight. And the Rays had their 8-game win streak stopped. Matt Moore against Chris Sale tomorrow in the third of that 4-game series in Chicago. Sale will try to win his 18th game.
Well, that's a big game for the White Sox with Sale trying to win his 18th. But how about Jared Weaver? A big game for the Angels tonight. Won his 20th.
Yes, he did. 20-game win.
Jared Weaver, a no-hitter this season. One of those 7 you talked about. And you know what? This time of the year, how about this? Subscribe to MLB.tv today to take advantage of the new low pricing and see every remaining A's out-of-market game live online and on your favorite devices in HD quality. Visit OaklandAthletics.com to order and get more details. MLB.tv, baseball everywhere. A shot of Harmon Killebrew, although they say that's not his, sort of up there. It's the Harmon Killebrew swing.
Sure looks like him.
Yes, it is.
So Pennington aboard, and now the top of the order, Coco Crisp. And the ball in the dirt. Nice read by Pennington, and he'll make it to second without a throw. Perfect read by Cliff Pennington. Absolutely no hesitation.
Ball in the dirt, so it's a pass ball.
Could be. You never know. We're going to wait it out.
But you're right. The secondary lead. Jay So trying to block it with just the one hand, one glove hand, and boy, you just like to see catchers cup the upper shoulders and try to keep the ball in front, kind of dead them a little bit. And it's hard off a chest protector like that. It's going to move far enough away, and especially with the aggressiveness of Pennington, got to second.
And Coco tries to hold up, can't do it.
See Pennington kind of stutter stepping off. Take those couple of extra steps and stop. Of course, if the ball hits the dirt, you continue to run, stop, otherwise get back to first.
Ball hit in the hole. Ryan on the backhand knocks it down. So Pennington stays at second. Coco will be aboard.
Well, as much as it might look at that and say, why didn't Pennington go to third? It was a smart play on his part because the ball was in front of him, and Ryan's only play was going to be to get Pennington at third. Had he continued, had Ryan come up with the ball, and he didn't, knock the ball down, and Pennington alertly going back to second base, because you never want to run into an out at third base on the first, and it's a great shot there. You see it, Ryan knocked it down, but great glove hand, and this one could not come up. But he would not have thrown out Coco, but the only chance, unfortunately, Pennington did not go to third.
More action now for the Seattle Mariners as the pitching coach is out again. So Carl Willis will head back to the dugout. So Stephen Drew is the hitter. Bottom of the 7th inning. Drew with a fly ball to the left to the wall, 2-run homer and a walk. Corner infielders in, thinking maybe a bunt, but Drew not bunt. Jaso to the screen, but it's into the seats. And the young lady in the front row made the catch after it bounced off that metal bar you see right there. It's usually second bounce where you have the best chance to make it.
Especially if you're holding a beverage.
Yeah. She was not going to get too worried about it. It's like racquetball, right? Don't chase it around. It'll come to you.
That's what we did at Foul Balls in Cleveland. The fans just wait to the end of the game and go take it on the way out.
She was going to get that. 1-1 to Drew. And a breaking ball. Furbush. Can be tough on left-handed.
Well,
he's got a little bit of a funky delivery.
Starts to that Drew, buckles his knee, barely catches the inside corner, but that is a tough read for a left-hander.
Drew lays off that pitch. So great speed on the bases. Cespedes will be next. Slider, and Drew takes it. So he's worked the count full. Ryan right near Pennington at second base. And that is not a swing. So the bases are loaded. Nobody out for Cespedes. 2 walks and a single.
This is a good check swing, and that's close. That head went quite a distance, but he kind of sold it. Drew did by hitting the first base.
So Eric Wedge, another trip to the mound. He's going to make a pitching change. We'll be back.
Sportsnet California is brought to you by Chevrolet and their award-winning cars, trucks, and crossovers. And by Jack in the Box. Get the all-American Jack Combo at Jack in the Box. It's a no-nonsense burger with fries and a drink for only $4.99 plus tax at participating stores.
Well, a great opportunity for the A's. Cespedes comes up with the bases loaded and nobody out. So the A's chance to add on a couple of runs. Stephen Pryor comes in for his 24th appearance. Another hard-throwing right-hander.
Yes, he is.
So Pryor will face Cespedes.
How hard? About 96, 97. Hard slider, 90 plus. Plus, he's big. Hunt Bears with a switch.
That is big. Cespedes, 3 hits with the bases loaded this year. First pitch is outside.
I don't know, question about swinging the first pitch. Again, guy comes out in the bullpen. Not a bad thing to watch a pitch just to see how he's throwing. And it was a pretty good hard slider from Pryor on the first offer.
Swing and a miss. So Pryor coming right at Cespedes with a fastball.
At 94, right over the top.
So Pennington at third, Crisp at second, Drew at first. And that one, a little cut to it maybe. Moving away from Cespedes, and he swings and misses. Infield in for the Mariners. They're figuring we cannot afford to fall behind by a whole lot more. They do not score a great deal of runs as an offense. Cespedes, good swing. He fouled the back.
And that's the challenge of the challenge. Fastball pitcher, fastball hitter. Although Cespedes back speed at 94 with a fastball, a little bit late. Maybe protecting the hard slider that Pryor will throw.
That one in the dirt.
Let's see how good these hitters are. Guy throws that hard. You're going to try to gear up, load up a little quick, and to not swing at a pitch like that. Coming in, looks like it's going to be a strike, ends up in the dirt. Nice block by Jaso, but the patience, selectivity of hitters, especially like Cespedes.
Low, 3-2. Pryor's got no place to put him. Fastball coming right at him. Outside corner.
Had a little cut action on it. Cutter at 90 miles an hour. That's pretty impressive.
So we'll do it again. Well, the outfield really pinching the gaps is. Well, they are way over into the gaps. That's as far as you see any outfielder, corner outfielder, Baltimore for the gaps. Another 3-2. High walked it. Not close, and it's 5-2 as Pennington trots home.
That's a great at bat. It might not seem, but that was a tremendous at bat, especially for the pitcher throwing it as hard as Pryor. And Cespedes fouled off his tough 90-mile-an-hour cut fastball. Took a couple of pitches in the dirt, and ultimately the one over his head.
So 3 walks in the inning. They'll kill you every time.
Every time. Leadoff walk scores, and also Pennington, as you described, great base running, taking the secondary lead.
So Moss does not wait around. He swings at that first pitch. Moss walked in the first, grounded out in the third, grounded out again in the fifth. A's only have 6 hits in the game, but again, they've received 5 walks. Popped up. Seager, the third baseman, and Ryan come together, and it's going to be the shortstop, Brendan Ryan, who makes the catch. So Moss got under it.
And that was another power against power, and Brandon Moss got his fastball, took one down low, and then got another one, but got the bat head out in front, but just went right up the ladder, straight up.
So here's Reddick. Reddick's bat is starting to come alive. He's 1 for 3 tonight. He's hit a couple balls hard. First pitch is low, 95 miles an hour. For 23 in his career with the bases loaded. Outside, 2-0. Pryor tried something off speed.
That is 4th, 5th pitch. When you got a 96-mile-an-hour fastball, it's the time to try to get ahead, and he's putting himself in a position where he has to throw a fastball. See if Reddick's on it.
It's bounced second. Ackley has it. He throws wide, and Coco's safe. Ackley's throw pulled Jaso off a home plate, and the A's get their 6th run.
And Ackley hurried his throw, did not really have to once he caught the ball. Infield in, and they were going for the play at the plate. He had to move a little bit to his left. Maybe didn't have a grip and tried to hurry. And well, Jaso tried to do the great job of keeping his foot on the bag, on the plate, could not do it. And you can see on that great shot that the ball ran up the arm of Ackley, did not have a great grip. That's a sideline, no touchdown.
Yep.
He slid out of bounds.
So, and that's a base hit right up the middle. 2 runs are going to score, and the A's have blown it open. Donaldson goes after the first pitch, shoots it right back up the middle.
Cespedes with the ground ball, able to motor, no chance to get him. Donaldson jumping on the first pitch fastball, and with the infield in again, they get the ground ball, but up the middle, and no chance to do anything. So great offense for the Athletics. Heads up, base running, great eyes, taking some pitches out of the strike zone, and they scored a bunch.
So the A's drop the 4 spot, and they lead 8-2.
Ladies and gentlemen, coming into pitch for Seattle, number
So the A's now lead 8-2 over the Mariners. Just in this 7th inning alone, 3 walks, 2 singles, and an error. And the A's have scored 4. So Hector Neuse comes in. There's still only 1 out. Reddick's at second, Donaldson at first. Johnny Gomes. And a breaking ball to Gomes for a strike. Second at bat for Gomes. He pinch hit for Seth Smith in the 6th inning.
Ryan Cook was up with Jerry Blevins. Now it's Jerry Blevins with the extended lead. So we'll go, it looks like with Blevins.
Quick 0-2 to Gomes.
Well, you see a starting pitcher. We saw him in the bullpen in Seattle. So we'll see what the Mariners do in the future with this acquisition from the Yankees.
And that one's right there for a strike, and Gomes strikes out for the 2nd time. So that's 2 outs here in the 7th.
Fastball backdoor, catches the corner.
Now batting,
Movement just started out there and stayed there, and again not pulling the trigger on the fastball.
So Kataris will hit. Kataris is 0 for 3. Charlie Furbush gives up 3 runs, 2 earned. And he didn't retire anybody. 2 walks by Furbush. They both scored. We see nasty slider right there, and it's 0-2. He's the 3rd pitcher for the Mariners here in the 7th inning. Kataris, a fly ball, a ground out, and a strikeout so far tonight. This one's into the seats for a foul ball. Reddick and Donaldson are the base runners. Not close. The crowd a little over 16,000 tonight.
The smallest crowd the A's played in front of on the last 10-game road trip, 29,000 in Detroit. Last 7 games, New York and Texas averaged about 42,000. Loud. How loud they were?
They were loud.
Especially in Texas.
So Kataris strikes out, but the A's do damage. They score 4 times in the bottom of the 7th. 8th inning coming up, 8-2 Athletics. where after the game is as important as the game itself. Immediately following the Raiders game, change the channel to Comcast Sportsnet California for Raiders Post-Game Live. It's hosted by Jim Kozimor, Bill Romanowski, and Lorenzo Neal. Also, insider Paul Gutierrez will be live in the locker room for the game immediately following Raiders Broncos. It'll be Sunday in Denver, so that's going to be a good game. Peyton Manning going up against the Raiders. Complete Raiders coverage every night on Sportsnet Central and CSNCalifornia.com. So Jerry Blevins takes over here in the 8th inning. His first pitch to Casper Wells is low. So Griffin goes 5 2/3, gives up an earned run. Doolittle goes an inning and a third. Gave up the home run to Saunders. But now the A's, thanks to that 4 spot, have an 8-2 lead. Top of the 8th.
That's a big 4 spot too, because it was getting close, the 4-2, and so Jerry Blevins on to make his 61st appearance. Tall lefty, 5-1 record. He has pitched well in all different sorts of roles this season, and right now trying to get 3 outs without giving the Mariners a chance to feel they can come back.
Well, in a season of 162 games, there's many different things that happen, so it's hard to put certain things in certain categories. But Blevins' inning in Anaheim,
Now batting,
when
number
the
15,
Angels were storming
Kyle
back and had,
Seager.
I mean, listen, you and I looked at each other and went, this is not good.
And we
First and third, nobody out.
And he didn't look like Houdini.
No. And he got out of the inning and the game was over.
He was Houdini.
And,
Yeah.
I mean, just from a kind of a game that pops into your head, you felt was getting away from you, and it was. And Blevins got a strikeout and a double play.
You're looking at first and third, 1 run up, nobody out.
And 2 runs in, so the ball's rolling already. Yeah, we did not have a good feeling that night, but Blevins put it all to rest. On 1 to Kyle Seager, and now 0-2 to Kyle Seager. He's 1 for 3, singled in the very first inning. Seager will be followed by Montero. Tried to read through those playoff scenarios and tiebreakers again this morning, which
Did you?
lasted about 17 seconds, and then I stopped reading because you will just get more confused. Smash foul. I knew I shouldn't do it, but I did it anyway.
So you're not going to take a test, huh?
Oh, no, there'll be no test.
Moss has already made 1 great play tonight, turning the 3-6-3 double play on the ball smoked by Smoke.
That one's hit well toward Coco Crispin center, but Coco's going to get back there. He makes the catch. So that's out number 1 here in the top of the 8th. A's Baseball on Comcast Sportsnet California is brought to you by Roaring Camp Railroads. Dinner Roaring Camp style is sizzling steaks, a moving steam train ride, and singing around the campfire. RoaringCamp.com.
Sounds so inviting the way you read that.
I know. Do that this offseason. First pitch to Montero is ripped. Left field, Cespedes! He made the catch.
Well, the acceleration. He did not break anywhere but to the left. Looked like it was going to be to the left center field wall for a double, and Cespedes out of nowhere. Look at the ball. He's into the gap. Here he comes. There he goes in a dive. And he comes up with it. Great play by Cespedes, and came up thinking he's going to double off the runner who, no doubt, thought it was going to be extra bases. But Cespedes, what a tremendous play. I think he's learning how to play left field. For a center fielder, he's playing great in left field.
You know what you do too, Ray, is when right before you're going to catch it, you tap your glove a little bit. Watch. Yeah, I'm going to tap my glove a little bit. There you go, just to get ready. But you do that on high pop-ups, right? That you camp under.
Yeah.
More action. He's going to show off his speed again. No problem, says Yoenis Cespedes. Putting on a show in left field, so are the A's tonight. They lead 8-2 as we go to bottom of the 8th. It's worth another look.
Deck? No way!
All right, here's our game summary. It's brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. 2-5-2 for the Mariners, 8-7-0 for the Athletics. Blake Bevan got knocked out in the 5th inning. A.J. Griffin, he's in line for a win, pitching into the 6th inning. But Coco Crisp back in the lineup, and how important is he? He's got 3 hits tonight. He has scored 3 runs. And Coco's going to hit second in this inning. That's all he needs. Is so that'll be something to watch for as Pennington leads things off. So we'll keep an eye on Vince Cotroneo, the anti-cycle guy. We have fun with it every time someone gets close to cycle. Vince is well prepared to be placed on TV, and he will know exactly what we're up to. Popped up. Ryan is under it. He's got it.
Time now for the AT&T reverse replay. You wonder how's Coco going to be when he returns after about 10 days off. Well, he showed in the first inning, first at bat, 3-2 fastball, and even Bob Melvin got a smile. Oh, that's rare for the skipper to be smiling in the first inning, but it's one of those. I knew I wanted him back a long time ago, and he gets back in the lineup, and it's a home run.
All right, we need a triple. Ball in the gap or down the right field line, and that one is knocked down by Seager, who scrambles after it, and that's a nice play. He was playing in, so we will not have a triple tonight. Hey, join us tonight after the game. A's post game live for the A-Team radio and TV simulcast of all 4 broadcasters, Korak, Cotroneo, Fossey, and myself. We're going to get together, a little roundtable discussion about tonight's game. It's the AT, and it's coming up after the game on A's Post Game Live, and also at 95.7 The Game. So we'll have a little fun with that. It'll be our final A-Team of the season. Obviously, we do it on Friday nights. So 2 outs for Stephen Drew. And again, remember, we are televising the game tomorrow. 12:30, A's pregame live. Change up in first round. If the A's hang on to win this game, they certainly have a good chance of doing that. The so-called loser tonight in the standings will be the Rays, because everybody ahead of the Rays will have won. The Orioles, A's 3 outs away from a win, and the Angels won. Texas Rangers, they're starting to feel the heat, but they would like to get this thing over with, and the A's just will not let it happen.
Well, the Angels also won't let it happen,
Nope.
and so it's something that Ron Washington and his staff and his club knows that it's not always that easy.
Well, you just look at games that are played and who's playing who. I've seen it many times in the month of September. Teams you think you should beat, you don't. That is what it looks like right now. He's 3.5 back, trying to get to 3 back. The Dodgers are trying to hold on to their faint hopes. They're leading tonight at Dodger Stadium 8-0 over the Rockies. Strike 3 called on the inside corner. So we are headed to the 9th inning. A's 3 outs away from a win. So a big night for Coco Crisp, back in the starting lineup. Single double and a home run. So he has been the igniter from the top spot tonight. Jim Miller takes over here in the 9th inning. So his job, get the final 3 outs. As my partner Ray Fosse likes to say, have a clean 9th.
That's right. They like to carry over a nice clean 9th inning and game into the next day, which happens to be a quick turnaround. Day game after night game. That's the way the A's are playing. They might camp out here all night. Steve Vucinic wouldn't like that, but A's might do it.
Come on, Boos. So again, remember A's Post Game Live coming up immediately following the game. And have our final A-Team installment of the 2012 season. And we'll visit with Coco Crisp on his return back to the A's lineup. 3-1 to Smoke. He'll be followed by Saunders and Robinson. There's a strike down 3-1 down around the knees. Said that a lot tonight. Smoke is 0 for 3, and he is a very hot hitter right now. So the A's have kept him under control.
Such a hot hitter, he probably knows the strike zone. A little bit upset that the pitch was called a ball or a strike anyway. It's hit anyway.
Cespedes plays it on a hop.
Even Cespedes couldn't get to the.
Well, again, just a reminder, tomorrow right here on Comcast Sportsnet California, it'll be Straley and Vargas. Coverage begins at 12:30. The A's pregame live. Then complete A's coverage every night on Sportsnet Central and CSNCalifornia.com. So indeed, a quick turnaround. 5 more games left after tonight in the regular season. This pitch to Saunders. Saunders homered off Doolittle in the 7th inning. The only runs the Mariners have scored tonight, home runs by Saunders and Robinson.
The skipper would like to have a clean inning more than anybody, and right now, churning, you start thinking, and Kurt Young. This continues, and it's now 3-0 back-to-back hitters.
Well, Kurt is going to pass along a message.
Oh. Come on, man. Not what he wanted to see. He's already been up once tonight. Ryan Cook has.
Cook is up again. So the 3-0 pitch is right in there for a strike to Saunders. Saunders' home run was his 18th of the year. And that one's low, and it's a walk. So Smoke with a single, and Saunders with a walk. So 2 on, nobody out for Trayvon Robinson.
Well, if Gutierrez has gone out, you know what that means. That it's going to buy some time. Ryan Cook's not going to need much, and I don't think it's going to go beyond this. Maybe so. That skipper's given some signs. And this is a case of a manager who wants to win this game, as we all know, as badly as anybody. Try to show a little confidence in his right-hander to get out of this without having to bring Cook in, but I think he's on a short leash. Maybe is in one more batter. He's capable of doing it. He's pitched well. Different times for the Athletics. Game on Saturday against the Yankees. And as pitchers say, when somebody gets up the bullpen, you know it.
Yep.
You can hear the glove popping. You can look down and see him.
Good fastball there again, and it's 0-2 to Robinson. Brendan Ryan is in the on-deck circle. Robinson has also struck out and grounded out tonight, so 1 for 3. Pitch is high. So the A's looking for win number 89 and win number 45 at home. So 2-2 now.
The thing is, Joe Miller's got good arms. 93, 94 mile an hour fastballs back to back, and threw the fastball by Robinson. Trying to do it again.
Strike 3 call. Good pitch there on the inside corner. Robinson chewing on Cooper for the second time tonight.
I was going to say, hit a home run, called out his second time. And if we show Tommy Cam there, you're going to see it right on the corner. That's a good pitch. That's a good pitch, and a reason probably that Eric Cooper, the hitter's going to get ejected, something like that. They react, and that's a pretty good pitch. And again, most hitters don't like the fastball in. Lifted his arms, but Tommy Cam showed that it's right on the corner. So Eric Cooper would be graded perfectly on that one.
Good slider by Miller. Ryan, a couple of ground outs and a strikeout. Nice to end it with a double play. Foul territory. Moss may have a play, and he does. He reaches out right at the last minute and hauls it in.
Well, you know what made that play was Moss getting a great jump from first base, and he could fly. And he took off immediately. Kind of looked to cut another time, third time, see how close, and got to the warning track, reached, and made a nice play, and almost dared. Just dared Smoke to try to go to third so he could show off his strong arm, throw him out. But that's a very good play. Well, he's had a very good night defensively as Moss. 6-3 double play. Nice running catch on a foul ball.
First pitch to Ackley is a fastball that's a bit high. Ackley is 1 for 4. 6 hits for the Mariners tonight. 7 hits for the A's. Fastball runs outside. Ackley pops it up. This should do it. Donaldson's under it. And that's the ball game. So the A's get a win. And you check another day off the calendar. And that's important this time of year. So the A's stay in the second wild card spot. And they pick up a game on the first place Rangers in the West. They are now just 3 back, but sitting in a decent spot for that second wild card. So it's 8-2 is the final tonight in game 1 of this 3-game series. And Coco Crisp, single, double, home run. Great to have him back in the lineup. We're going to look to talk to Coco in just a matter of moments.
Well, it is amazing to see the way they club, and again we look at
at what Chili Davis talked about the bounce back boys, and after another tough loss yesterday, they bounced back tonight, returned to the Coliseum, and did a great pitching performance by A.J. Griffin, and welcome back Coco Crisp, and get another win. But you're right about the 4-run 7th inning to add on to make sure made it a 6-run game at the time, and that was very important. And A.J. Griffin gets the win. He kind of battled tonight, but he got into the 6th inning, and then the terrific A's bullpen took over. And usually when that happens, that's a good sign for the Athletics, and they usually win the game. Another good sign for the A's is getting Coco Crisp back in the lineup. Coco is standing by downstairs. And Coco, we set up here, it's not that easy. You hit a home run your first time back. How did it feel to finally get out there? I know you were very frustrated not being able to play.
I was a little nervous. It's been a while since I've been out there, and the last time I was out there, kind of struggled with my vision. So it was a little nerve-wracking. It was nice to get that first easy fly ball out there in the outfield, gain some confidence with seeing the ball in the air, and it's always nice to put the bat on the ball, and it just so happened that I got enough to get over the fence. Coco, obviously very much missed your total game, the way you play the outfield, your speed, a home run, which you did tonight, but at what point did it break for you to the point that you felt that you could come back and play, and obviously play well tonight? Well, I was still a little unsure. I don't know exactly when I'm going to be 100%. It's kind of a tough gig, but I felt that I was close enough, and mulling it over with the training staff. Training staff, and with Mel, we just figured we'll give it a go today and see how it felt. So, Coco, what is the main issue with we're calling it pink eye? Is it just a little blurry, or tell us the best you can how difficult it is and where it inhibits you? Well, it's not pink eye. It's not contagious, so that's a great thing. I don't have to worry about giving it to any of the other guys on the team. But I think it's called EKC. It's just one of those rare things that only I would ever get, so which sucks. But just got to battle through it, and so far it's going in the right direction. How about tonight? You hit the home run, and watching your manager, Bob Melvin, who never shows any emotion, you hit the home run, he was clapping and smiling, which is very rare, especially in the first inning. But then hitting the double in left field. I mean, doing everything, as we talked, you're a trip away from the cycle. How great did it feel to be able to see the ball as well as you did and use the whole field the way you did? Well, it was good. Like I said, I was just coming out I didn't want to strike out. I just wanted to put the bat on the ball, hopefully be able to see it, and fortunately, I was able to get some to fall. And that's always a good feeling, especially your first day back, to be able to get in some kind of rhythm. So it definitely felt good. I'm glad he was cheering me on. He was probably just as nervous as I was. Doesn't want me to get hurt out there, going out there blind. But it was okay today. Coco, obviously, you guys are in a great spot. You win, you're going to get in. But do you ever glance over your right shoulder and check on that out-of-town scoreboard at all? Well, of course. This is that time of the year. You got to keep tabs on everybody. Earlier in the year, we just take it game by game and, look at the big picture. Now the big picture's here, and you can't help but look over your shoulder and hope that the outcome's in your favor. So today, the main thing is worrying about yourself. I mean, we got to go out there and win. So that's the most important thing, but still you can't help yourself. All right, thanks, you did great. Yeah, you did. Team did good. Team win. Awesome. That's good pitching job. Good hitting. Yeah. Keep it up, huh? It's nice to see you smile, too, Coco. Right. I know it's been a tough week or so. Oh, man. Nice job tonight. Thanks, guys. All right, so Coco Crisp is back, and that's certainly great to see. Yeah. He's so important to the team, and I think, too, Ray, he's a veteran. Right. And this team needs its veterans, and here's a veteran that plays every day. And there's a vocalness to Coco, even though you may not know it, but he is a leader on this team, and that's important to have it back. Well, whenever he hit the home run, and granted, you see how excited the team was just to see him back in the lineup, and then you saw the reaction, not only to Bob Melvin, but Josh Reddick coming down. Everybody, that whole bench erupted when he hit the home run. First of all, just to have him back in the lineup and to do what he did, that made it even a more special night. So it's great that he did what he did. So it was a good night. 5 games left in this regular season, and the A's check another day off the calendar, and they get a win tonight in Game 1 of this series over the Seattle Mariners. Final score of 8-2. So stick around. It's coming up next, A's Postgame Live. And you've been watching A's Baseball here on Comcast Sportsnet. It's part of the NBC Sports Group. Brody Brazil, Shooty Babbitt are standing by in the studio. Take it away, guys.